Camera. Hi, my name's Holly Redman. I was a nurse at a hospital in the operating room for many years. I've had chronic back problems for at least 19. The first one, back injury I had, was when I was pregnant with my son. I was helping a patient break their fall, and I lost the use of my left leg at that point. I went home from work that night and had to literally lift my leg into the car, and the next day I couldn't even get out of bed. From then on, just several different back injuries over the years. I had a couple falls and bad issues with both my legs, severe back pain, spasms, cramps, you name it. I would go through different therapies on and off throughout the years, muscle relaxers, Advils like 16 to 24 a day, physical therapy, and finally a final injury in 2005 took me out. I literally was going to an emergency in one of the operating rooms, and the floor had been freshly waxed the night before, lovely, and I came around the corner, my feet went out from underneath me. I literally flew up in the air and landed on my back. And from that point on, November of 2005, I worked and worked and worked and just slowly could not stand up straight anymore. I was literally hunched over and bent over to the right side. And I continued to work that way up until one day in April when I finally couldn't work anymore. I, at that point, was in the work comp system, which was not fun, and doing all the physical therapies again. I went to a chiropractor, and they put me on a Medix machine, which did help strengthen my back muscles and all. But it's like when I'd get done with the therapy, I was just had pain again. It was all back to the same old thing constantly. MRIs showed that I had a couple bulging discs at L3, 4, and 4, 5. I had severe sciatic pain, electrical issues down both legs. They finally did an epidural, another epidural steroid facet injection, which did not help. It helped the left leg a little bit, but not the right. Then they decided to do a radiofrequency ablation of my nerves at 3 levels of the facet joints, and that didn't do anything either. The pain was a little bit numbed. Obviously, they clipped the nerves, but it did not help. It was not a cure at all. It was October then actually I went through that for 3 years, 2 years. In October, a couple years later, we were at our city, I live in the city of Placentia, and we were at our Placentia Heritage Day Parade and Business Expo. My husband had come across, he was wandering through the Business Expo and all, and he had run across Non-Surgical Spinal Care Center and met Juliana. And he was very intrigued and interested, and he had seen that all the therapies I had had, the many ESFIs, the radiofrequency ablation of the nerves, all the physical therapy, the medications, I had forgotten to mention that, medications from taking 8 Advils to 12 to 16 to 24 a day. The pain was so severe I couldn't walk, I couldn't get out of bed. They put me on the Vicodins, they put me on Norco, they put me on, I can't even remember, until they escalated up to a fentanyl patch. Fentanyl is a medication. Granted, the patch is very minute compared to what we use in surgery, but fentanyl is something that we use in surgery to put people to sleep. I was literally a zombie. I was non-existent. I was a body in a bed. I didn't interact with my family. My family was suffering tremendously because of the situation I was in. Anyway, so my husband, back to my husband meeting Juliana, he drugged me over there. And me being a surgical nurse, I was extremely skeptical, and I didn't really want to be talking to her because I just knew that it would not help. Anyway, I did. She was very, very kind, very soft-spoken, explained to me what they did at the center, and said, look, you have a free complimentary consultation. Come in, bring your x-rays, we'll x-ray you. We will show you the facility and go from there. Just come down and at least give us a try. So I did. Sorry. I did. And thank God, because today, because of them, in October of 2009 I started, and this is what, April 28th, 2010. I was able to finally not be flat on my back 4 or 5 days a week anymore. The pain started subsiding. I'm not on any medication at all whatsoever, not even Advil. I have my life back. My autistic son is happy because his mom is up and doing things again. My husband is just phenomenal. He is so thrilled and so glad I listened to him and went over to talk to Juliana that day. October, I can't even remember. October, I want to say it was the beginning of October is when the treatment started. And I was turning 50 in November, and it was my husband and I's 10th anniversary, and he was going to take us on a cruise, on a 7-day Mexican Riviera cruise. If I hadn't come to the center and have the treatments, there's no way I would have been on that cruise. But after just the 4 weeks of treatments, I was able to get on that cruise ship and have the time of my life. I even went on rhinos and off into the backwoods of Mexico and Puerto Vallarta, and when we were in I forget the other cities we were in. I was so excited that I'm doing so well. And then one of the other cities I got on the ATVs and just really tore it up and went over bumps and everything and had no problems at all. And I never, ever, ever, ever could have done that had I not gone through this. So the center is fantastic. You come in, everybody is helpful. They are there for you. The thing I like most of all is that when your course of treatment is done, when you've gotten to that point where you are more or less pain-free or pain-free, they don't just say, okay, that's it, goodbye. I know that they're going to be here for the rest of my life because they have continued like therapy. If you start having a little bit of an issue, you come back in for rehydration as often as you need to, or as little as you need to. But I know they're going to be here for the rest of my time. And they're fantastic. Try them out.